May 24th, 2024. This is the plan for the garden this year. And today, we're gonna sow our first seeds. So if you haven't seen my garden before, this is it. I built it myself, designed it myself. It's got 6 full flower beds in it. It's got a corner sunflower bed and then a circular morning glory teepee. And we did a lot with this space last year, but this year I got some new plans. I'm bringing in a lot of new plants, a lot of new flowers, and I'm also bringing stuff that we used last year that just worked phenomenally in this space. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, we have an entire playlist of garden tours from last year that we published over on the podcast channel. So I'll have that all linked at the end if you guys want to watch last year's growth and how this garden space looked. It was absolutely beautiful. But this year, switching it up, doing a lot more cool flowers, and we even brought in some bulbs this year as well. We are trying out tulips and gladiolas in these tire spaces, and then in our pots we have some rose bushes that we picked up from a store down in Ohio. So we're gonna clean up this space. It definitely needs weeded, and then we're gonna bring out our handy dandy tiller tool, which I want to show you guys this because this is just such a great piece of equipment. So basically it's got prongs in the end, and you take this and you'll throw it in the ground just like that, and then you'll stamp your feet on it, and you'll watch me use this the entire video. But you push it down on the ground and then you twist. When you twist that, it twists the dirt, and I mean, this thing just, it tills up the soil really nice. If you don't have one of those motored ones that like till it up finely, this will break up your soil from the crusty, dusty, clay mess that it was last year's and turn it into something a little bit finer. So we're gonna get in this garden, we're gonna weed it, we're gonna clean it out. I don't know how much we're gonna get put down today, but you might be seeing some other stuff throughout the week. So let's weed some beds and get some seeds in the ground. So last year in this bed we had zinnias, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did last year. I've got a leaf mulch, a very healthy leaf mulch over top of this. So a lot of this soil should be pretty decent. But we're gonna mix all that leaf mulch in. It's good compost, good for the dirt. And we're gonna till this up. I see right here, we have ourselves a little zinnia start. So that's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna leave this as just a little glimpse from last year into this year. And we'll probably just leave this because I don't really mind starts and from last year's season. I usually like to give a lot of grace when it comes to that stuff and give every plant a chance. So I got 2 beds done. I got this one on the one side of the trellis, and then I also tore up this one, which you can't really tell because there's tons of leaves over it. So I might have to get this raked up, but I might just try to work all these leaves in. Yeah. I might try to work all these leaves in manually, and we'll see what happens. But that's 2 beds down. Still got 4 to go. I might take a break and plant these beds instead of doing some more tilling, just to give my body a break. But let me show you guys what we're going to be planting, just to take a quick breather after that. I'll show you guys what we're going to be planting in this garden. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen it, I did a garden journal tour, and I've added a couple notes to it since, because we're entering garden season, and obviously as we go, we're gonna add stuff into it. Hi, would you like to be in this video too? Hello, what's your name? Anyway, so I'll have that linked at the end as well, and you guys can watch the garden journal tour. So basically, this is just a way for me to keep track of everything that's happening in my garden this year. So one of the big things in the very front is my garden layout, and we're gonna walk through it right now. So like I said, we've got 6 beds in it, and then we've got a corner bed, and then a circle morning glory trellis. So since I wrote this plan, I bought a lot more seeds. If you haven't seen the video on seeds sorting containers, I'll have that linked at the end as well. Got a lot of really cool videos for you guys. You need to go check out my channel and watch them all because they're just really fun, informational videos. I think you guys could learn something from them. And make sure to give this one a like as well and share it with somebody who likes garden tours. This is like the first garden tour of all the garden tours. So today we're going to talk about what I'm planting in my garden. What's new, what's old, all those fun stuff. So in the first 2 rows that we just tilled up, we're going to be doing zinnias. I got a lot of varieties of zinnias this year. Mainly I'm going to do in the one my zinnia mix. This is like every color zinnia that I grew last year. I saved the seeds from them, and I'm going to plant one entire bed, just all of these zinnias. And then in the other bed, I'm going to plant the other zinnias that I bought. I've got a queen lime red, a early bird, which this is just a mixed variety. So because I'm already growing mixed varieties, I may skip on these mixed colored ones. But I have this giant double, again, another mixed. I have the queen lime blush, the canary, the Isabellina, which is a white, and then the envy green. So I got a lot of new colors for those zinnias, and then some old ones. I think I have some candy cane stripe in here, some salmon, lots of pretty colors for the zinnias. So those first 2 beds are gonna be zinnias. Over the trellis, I think I'm gonna do sweet peas, which I've got a lot of new varieties of vining that I wanna test out, but I think I'm gonna stick to 3. On my morning glory trellis, I usually do morning glories, but they're very invasive species. They drop seeds. If you didn't know that, now you do. When you're planting morning glories, be prepared to have them in your garden forever because they will pop up after the last season. So I've got 3 trellises. I've got my circle one and my 2 archway over the path. And so on the first archway, which connects to my zinnia beds, I'm gonna be doing the sweet peas. On the second arch, I think I'm gonna do the black-eyed Susan vine. And on the morning glory trellis, which I guess is just a trellis now because we're not planting morning glories there, we're gonna do the cypress vine. And I was gonna test out the passion flower, but I think I'm gonna save this for next year because this is a very difficult plant to grow. Bought the seeds for it though because they're crazy cool. And then this was the morning glory that I was gonna grow. We'll see, maybe we'll mix it in as well, but for right now we're gonna focus on those 3 on my trellises. So in the next row up, I have a lot more different things, not just a one basic, but in the right side, I'm going to be planting straw flowers. Now these are new. I never planted these before, but I've got 3 different varieties of straw flowers, and I might throw in another type of flower if I have enough space for it. I'm not one who really is picky about spacing. Here at my farm, I kind of just plant whatever and make everything fit. Spacing is something with gardening that you just kind of become, it's not really something you have to focus on too much, but dependent upon what you're growing, I'm really not focusing that much on it. Oh, this is my favorite chicken, Pumpkin, and she is an absolute baby. So for straw flowers, I have these copper red, these vintage white, and then this tall double mix. And I'm excited about these because whenever I'm making my arrangements, I like the taller flowers. So having some straw flowers that are tall and the double mix variety, bigger heads, it just sounds like a really good idea for here. And then in the left side, we're gonna try out some taller things, which we were just talking about. We're gonna try some stocks, anytime variety. We're gonna try celosia and amaranth. Amaranth is another thing I've been told to be cautious of because it drops seeds like crazy. That's another thing, cosmos. I will not be planting those again because yes, they do drop seeds. And then I also have bells of Ireland. I've been cold stratifying those for a really long time, which looking back, I don't know why I put those in the fridge so soon, but cold stratifying, put them in the fridge, it helps them germinate a little bit faster, I suppose. That's just, some seeds need that. So I've been having those in the fridge for a little bit now, but I need to remember to get those out, and we'll put that in the left side. Now moving up on the right side, we only have 2 beds on the left, and on the right we have before. So moving up on the right side now, we're planting an entire bed of asters. And I've never grown aster before, but I bought a lot of different varieties of it. I have the apricot, the violet, the yellow, the silver, and the lavender. All of these are beautiful varieties. I'm hoping that these come up because aster is one of the things that I've been wanting to grow for a while now. It's also new, never grown it before, so I'm excited to see how those do. And finally, in the back of the garden, I have a couple things which I've already started in pots. I did a video on that. I can't link everything at the end, so you guys are gonna have to find it up on my channel. It's somewhere, it's a newer video. But the plan was to plant bachelor buttons in there, forget-me-nots, baby's breath, status, and calendula. I think I've already planted forget-me-nots and baby's breath in pots, so I think we're going to focus on, let me see. So what we're gonna plant instead is we're gonna plant our bachelor buttons, which is a mixed variety. And these black bachelor buttons are stunning. I'm so excited to grow those. So we're gonna plant our bachelor buttons, our calendula, which if you've never seen calendula before, they are super pretty, and I'm excited to grow those as well. Calendula, right there, it's an herb, but the flowers are just as good for that. And also we're gonna try some status. And this last bed was kind of crowded, so being able to move the baby's breath and the forget-me-nots into pots instead of in my garden gives me a little bit extra room to grow and to put more stuff in. And then we've already planted our sunflowers. If you haven't watched that video, again, check out my channel, it's up there as well. And I think that's everything for our garden. So stay tuned to see this summer, all of this, our whole plan is gonna be come to life, and this garden is gonna be green, it's gonna be full of colors, and it's just gonna be beautiful. I'm excited to see where this goes, and I hope you guys follow along on the journey. But for now, let's get back to planting. So here we are, guys. I have all my garden beds tilled, ready to go for planting. And they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with some of these beds and the way the soil looks. I noticed that with dirt that had the leaves on top, the leaf mulch, it was a lot easier to till up than the dirt that didn't have the leaf mulch, which was a lot more dry, concreted, because of the sun hitting it so intensely. But the leaves covering it, a lot easier to till. So keeping that noted, if you want better soil to till, cover with a type of mulch. A leaf mulch or grass mulch will work fine, and you'll have a less heck of a time tilling. It'll be a lot more convenient. Oh, good morning, guys. It's the next day, 7:30, and we're out here. We're gonna get in the garden and we're gonna finish it up. We tilled it all yesterday, as you guys saw, but today we are going to plant everything that we can. I think we're gonna get it all done. I came out here earlier because I got a lot of other stuff I want to tackle today, but let's see if we can get all of our flowers in the ground. If you stay tuned, stick around, follow along on our journey. You guys can be here for all the garden tours and to see all of the results from everything that we did today. So stick around, make sure to like and subscribe, and put your notification on so you can be notified every time I post new videos. But now, let's start planting. have been planted. Sweet peas on the trellis. Got our second bed done, and this is what I put in there. I put my Queen Lime Red, Queen Lime Blush, some Giant Double, the White, the Yellow Canary, and the MD Green. Second bed done. Third row done. We have our tall double mix straw flower, copper red straw flower, and our vintage white straw flower. And then on the trellis, we're gonna put our vining black-eyed Susans. So, third row done. Fourth row is done. And here I have my tall plants. I have my amaranth, my anytime mixed stocks, and my solo chef. 2 more beds to go, guys. Fifth bed in. This is our aster bed. We have our yellow aster, apricot, violet, silver, and then 2 rows of the lavender. Last row. The last bed is officially planted. In here we have our calendula, status, mixed bachelor buttons, black bachelor buttons, and I planted 2 of these. Bells of Ireland, my baby's breath, and forget-me-nots. So this back row is kind of just a filler bed. It's got a lot of littler flowers that I can mix in, fillers you would call them in flower arrangements. Just little things to add together to piece your arrangements nicely. But whole garden is done, all planted. So thank you guys for joining me on this wild, hot adventure that we just went on. But stay tuned, like I said earlier, for the full makeover of this garden. Whenever it's all in season, in bloom, it'll be beautiful. It's worth the wait. So, first step done. Now we wait. We'll see you guys in the next one.